Hi, this is Joy and welcome to my channel. I typically talk about Tesla cars and particularly the Tesla Model 3 on this channel. However, I had been MIA for the last month because I caught COVID. This is the very first video that I'm doing since my episode. I wanted to share my experience fighting this virus and recovering from it, since a lot of you are curious what it's like when you catch it. And I want to take this opportunity to show my gratitude, my deep appreciation, and say thank you to those in the Tesla community that have been so kind, caring, supportive, and encouraging, checking up on me daily when I was just in my bed being miserable. So thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And this Tesla community is just such a wonderful family to be in. When I first told people that I caught COVID, there are two questions that everybody immediately asked. The first one is, how did you get it? And the second one is, are you vaccinated? The answer to the first question is I have absolutely no idea. The second question, did you get vaccinated? And the answer to that is no. I was not eligible here in Los Angeles County to receive the vaccine until April 15th. My full-blown symptom started April 11th. So I was 4 days too early to receive the vaccine. First of all, let me say this. I am not anti-vaccine, nor am I pro-vaccine. I know there are people who are comfortable getting the vaccine. That's totally fine. And there are also others who are not comfortable getting this vaccine. And that is fine by me as well. The vaccines, just like the flu shot, there may be different side effects that people will feel depending on how your body reacts to it. So it's a personal choice. You decide what you want to do. For me personally, I was not going to get vaccinated until September, which would be 2 months prior to my yearly trip to Taiwan. And the reason for my planning to delay my vaccination until the fall is because the COVID vaccine is like the flu vaccine. It's not that you get these 2 shots or 1 shot and you're done for life. This virus will come back every year and it's going to mutate. So if I take it now, a few months down the road in the fall, right before my trip, I may have to take the vaccine again because it's going to mutate. That is my personal decision on vaccination. And plus now I have the antibodies in my body naturally that I would be okay for several months. So I just want to throw it out there. As I mentioned a moment ago, I started having symptoms on Sunday, April 11th. I was supposed to go to church that morning. My alarm went off at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I was so tired. I could not get out of bed. So I was like, today's not the day. I'll just stay home, and I watched the live stream. And then in the afternoon, I was still just so tired and I started having congestion. So I was like, maybe I caught a cold. So I moved to my couch and I was supposed to work on the video for the following day on Monday when I publish it, and I just could not do it. So I was like, yep, I probably got a cold and I just need to write it out. But out of precaution, I ordered an at-home COVID test. So I got on the computer Sunday evening, ordered it, and it was delivered to me the following day on Monday. I did the nose swab, package it up, and send it back. They received it Tuesday, and then Wednesday the report came back. I got an email saying, you tested positive. So I was like, great. So this is what I'm having. And also initially I thought before I got the positive report, I thought I was starting to get a flu because came Monday, I started having chills and I would start sweating. But I did not have any of the hallmark COVID symptoms at that time. I did not have a fever. I did not have trouble breathing, and I did not lose my smell or taste. So I thought that the flu shot that I had gotten exactly 6 months ago had expired. But then I received the COVID positive confirmation. I'm like, okay, so this is what it is. I also scheduled an online visit with my primary care physician, and from that point on, I was being tracked in the health care app every day to measure my body temperature, also my blood oxygen level. I ordered this oxygen meter from Amazon to check my blood oxygen level. By the way, I don't have this on my Apple Watch. This is a Series 5. The latest Apple Watch Series 6 has that built in, but this doesn't. So I just spent like $18 for this one. So every day I reported my measurements and also my symptoms. Is it getting worse? Is it still staying the same? Is it getting better? Any new symptoms? So my doctor was tracking me very closely. She would also call me every other day to check up on me. I actually started getting a fever the day after I got the positive COVID report back. I had low-grade fever, and it always happened at night right before I was about to go to bed. I would lay down my pillow and I would just feel, oh, this is just starting to burn. And I would take the temperature on my forehead, and I had like 98 degrees, 99 degrees for the first week toward the end of that week that I started getting a fever. And I've been taking Tylenol, so it helped to keep that down and help me to go to sleep. And in the morning, I would also feel a little feverish, and I would just take it again, and then throughout the day, I will be okay. I also started coughing more the second week into it because, like I mentioned, I was congested, so I was taking Mucinex and also decongestant the first week to loosen the mucus. The second week, however, I started coughing and my body just tried to purge all this stuff out. So I was coughing a lot more the second week. And at one point, it got so bad that when my doctor called, I could not even speak. As soon as I spoke 2 words, I would just cough up a storm. So that was the second week, and the doctor had to prescribe me much stronger cough medicine. I don't really think it helped that much. It actually helped throughout the day, but at night, at bedtime, I would just start coughing as well, or I would wake up in the middle of the night coughing. My fever continued for 5 days, and the worst day, I think I measured like 101, but then it just started going down very quickly from that point on. I also, during the second week, that's when the COVID symptoms hit me the most, or they were like really full on. So in addition to the fatigue, the cough, the low-grade fever, I also lost my smell for 3 days completely. And that was just a weird thing because I would do aromatherapy. I have like essential oils at home, and right before I go to bed, I would put like scented lotion on me. And I'm like, I can't smell anything. But after 3 days, I started to smell some scents. So I thought, oh, my smell came back. But then I realized I could smell some scents, but not other ones. And it was just so weird that I could smell, for example, this eucalyptus spearmint candle, but I couldn't smell my lavender and rose lotion. It's so weird. Now my smell is pretty much back. I can now start smelling the scent from a distance. Before, I would have to like do this to smell, but now when I'm sitting here, I can smell the scent. So I think my smell is probably about 90% back, and I didn't lose any taste in my mouth. So thank God. I had a friend who lost both, and I was just like, everything just so bland, I can't smell anything. But thank God it was just a smell for 3 days, and then I didn't lose any of my taste. There's also another symptom that I developed. I also started getting really terrible lower back pain. And I knew that you would get body aches, but when I had flus and my body aches was not like that. It was just really deep pain in my lower back, like in my bones type of ache. And it was so bad that it was hard for me to sit up in my bed. It was hard for me to stand up. It was hard for me to take the first step to walk. And it was hard for me to sit back down. I told my friends I felt like an old lady with a broken hip. It was so bad. And I started Googling online about the lower back pain, and I found out that Ellen DeGeneres, when she had COVID, she complained about a terrible back pain, lower back pain as well, and her doctor had to prescribe her steroids to help her ease it. So I was like, yeah, that was one of the symptoms as well. So the second week was the worst, and because I'm Chinese, if you go to a Chinese doctor, they will actually examine your tongue. So during that second week, when I'm in the restroom, I would just like, okay, let me look at my tongue and see what it looks like. And oh my goodness, my tongue turned dark blue and purple. It was so scary. And it's like a dead person's tongue, I guess, or somebody who's being poisoned. I don't know, from watching the movies. It was just so scary. And for one moment, a very short moment, I was a little worried if I may die from this virus. But I had to keep reminding myself, Joy, you're pretty healthy. You don't have any underlying conditions. You don't smoke, you don't drink. And you've been taking your daily vitamins, multivitamins, and the survival rate for COVID patients is 99.4% or something like that. So you're gonna be okay. Tough it out for the next however many weeks. Quarantine, just stay home and just fight it, and you'll be okay. So that was the mindset that I had when it was the worst. The fatigue, I would say, is the worst because for the first 2 weeks, I would sleep probably 14 to 16 hours every night. I remember one night I went to bed at 10 o'clock. I did not wake up until 2 o'clock in the afternoon the following day, and I had to force myself to get up and stay awake because I did not want to sleep so much that I would not be able to sleep again at night because I needed to sleep at night. So for 2 weeks, I was in bed and then I would move to the couch. I also didn't have much appetite, so I mainly just had soup for a meal, and I would just kind of take it in small portions throughout the day. I drank a lot of tea, hot tea, water, and also Gatorade. Also, I started taking higher dosage of zinc and vitamin D3. And my other friends who went through COVID also told me about this quercetin, like a natural supplement or herbs or something. It's for respiratory and immune support. So I bought this bottle. I'm just gonna take it until this is gone. For the first 15 or 16 days, 15 days, I was just completely out of it. But on day 16, on April 26th, the Monday, I woke up in the morning and all of a sudden I felt I need to wash my bedding today. and clean my place. And I actually did it that day. So that was the first day that I knew that my body is starting to recover. And also my tongue also started to have that reddish, pinkish tone back. By that time, I was fever-free for another 5 days or so. And my back pain at that time, on day 16, was also gone. So the back pain started getting better toward the end of my fever period. So like the last day that I had a low-grade fever, my back pain shifted from the whole portion of my lower back to the left side. So I was able to lean on my right butt and leg to stand up, and it wasn't so painful. And I was like walking around my house like this, like just I had to lean, okay? I had to lean when I walked around. And then after maybe 3 days, the back pain was gone. So I was really thankful. And I think that was inflammation caused by the virus. The week of April 26th, that's a third week with the symptoms. And I was still coughing just a little bit, but not that much. I had no more fever. My smell was coming back. I started to have more energy. I was still sleeping 12 hours a night. So the biggest thing with this virus, for those that have gone through it, they will tell you is the fatigue. That's the most annoying thing. At one point, I told a good friend when she checked up on me, I told her, I am so tired of sleeping. And she busted up. She's like, I wish I could sleep until 1 o'clock on a Saturday. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You're like sleeping all the time. And I was just so tired of it. I was so bored. Like it's either sleeping in bed or coming out here, get on social media and see what's going on, or watch Netflix or read or whatever. I was just like, I'm so done. I need to get back to my normal routine. So the third week, I started to get better. I started to get my energy back. And then the fourth week, which was last week, I noticed that my sleep hours start to shorten. So I started to sleep 9 to 10 hours, and I would just naturally wake up, and my cough had gone away, which is a good thing. Over the weekend, I started sleeping even less. So I'm filming this on a Saturday. Last night, Friday night, and this morning, I slept for 8.5 hours when I woke up naturally like before. So I know that now my body is getting back to normal. And actually last week I started working from home, just getting back to my regular routine, and I'm just so happy to be back. Thank you so much for watching. Now you know what it's like going through COVID, and I'll be back next week with actual Tesla content. See you next time.